Kufungua online uone kama tuko live. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Chocha TV. Today we have a one with the aspiring MCA Lopur Ward. Welcome and be ready. Listen to us. We are live via Chocha Mtaani. Welcome, Mheshimiwa. To begin with, Mheshimiwa, tell us your name. Give us a brief introduction of who you are.
Thank you very much. My name is Gilbert Ewet Topos, an aspiring MCA for Lopur Ward. Yes, I am married and I'm born from this same place called Lopur, where now I would want to be an MCA come 9th of August 2022. Actually, my experience, I have not worked in any government position. I have been working with NGO, international organization, and local organizations within Kakuma, Turkana West, and even Sudan. I have worked mostly with international organization, MSF Swiss, ICRC, International Committee of Red Cross, back in 2004, Samaritan's Pass, and now ICR the ministries in partnership with the UNHCR.
Yeah. What is your academic qualification?
Actually, I have bachelor's in business management, supplies option, and also I'm a theologian. Yes.
Very well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. Now that you want to be an MCA Lopur Ward, what are some of the key 5 agendas that you want to go to do to the residents of Lopur Ward? Tell us your 5 key agendas that you want to do to Lopur Ward.
Yes, thank you very much again. That is really very important question, because actually for one to aspire, he must have some a thought of the people of Lopur and entire Turkana West, because you know, coming from Turkana, you must have an agenda for your own people and also the people around you, that is Turkana West. The first thing that I would want to do when I clinch this seat, when the voters of Lopur will give me the position to lead them, it is one, lobbying and advocacy. Under lobbying and advocacy, I will support the government and donor funding projects through community platforms and forum. Also enhancing and promoting integration between the, you know, Lopur Ward as a larger area which is actually inhabiting the refugees in Turkana West. So I have that agenda of integrating them, making them stay together as one family, enhancing and promoting, creating and supporting local thematic groups for the purposes of empowerment. The disability, elderly, women, youth and religious groups. You know, many times when we talk of the religious groups, we have churches all over. And this is one thematic group that sometimes forgotten, yeah, but it has a role to play in the community. So when you empower them, when you give them that stability, this is when even they will go out and do livelihood for the same people, yeah, The disabled people, you know very well, this is one distinct group that people don't even recognize. And when you come to Turkana as a community, sometimes even they hide them in places because they don't want to come out. It will be one of my responsibility to make sure that this thematic group have come out and they have actually we actualize their potential that they have, so that they come out also and support the government, support the community, and they support themselves. Under still lobbying, there will be coordination and support of local, national, and any other existing leadership structures. What is happening? What's happening right now? Sometimes, as a leader, instead of you supporting the structures that are existing, so that people can benefit, like communally, you find like we become sided as leaders. But when you come out and make sure that these communities survives within the structures that exist, then they will live. The other thing under lobbying is ensuring Turkana West community benefits adequately from the corporate social responsibility from the agencies. All that agencies want is a leader who is able to make sure that this cooperation, this existence between the local community and the NGOs exists. They coexist, they live together, they do their things in the same way. My second agenda will be education. I want to state here very clearly that in my ward, the ward that we are talking about, where I've come from, where I am a voter, education is really the key agenda that we need to make sure that it has come out strongly. Because right now the Turkana community, the first priority, they depend on education. That is their first priority. And then now the livestock. Because the issue is the droughts have made them vulnerable, because it is really continuous. So you must make sure that there are people from this community who are actually educated, and this will become their livelihood, and they will make the community even stay stronger. So in this education, we want to strengthen and improve the existing education structures in Lopur. It is not that they were not there. We have at least something has been started. But what we need to do is to strengthen them, to make it open, to make it accessible, so that people or the community may know that yes to education. Proper utilization of county and CDF kitty. You know, the thing is, the county has an allocation for education for everyone. And we also have the county government and the CDF that has the same. So actually what we are going to do, we will make our peoples or anybody else who has at least an access of education to access this kitty, so that they may have time to educate themselves. You know, sometimes the problem is, out of all these kitties that we have these other small things that people do. But again, we need to make sure that even out of many of those we are taking to school, do we have one? Do we have two? Do we have three who can even accelerate to the doctorate level? To making sure that at least Lopur has produced somebody who is viable, somebody who the country can even be proud of. So those kitties, we will make sure that those kitties are available. Follow up and fishing out school dropouts to be able to realize their academic potential in various levels. When we go back, to our education structures in Turkana, back in 80s, you will find that it is unless you encourage kids to come to school. So like this, we have many dropouts in Lopur ward just because they don't even access these funds. And if we have time to make them access these funds, we will make sure that in certain grades, we will bring them back so that they can at least finish up their school properly. Promotion of technical education programs for sustainable development. Even in the current curriculum, that is what it promotes a lot. We have guys who have a lot of knowledge technically, but again, to make them access this knowledge, you need actually to bring them on board so that they have these technical education programs which are sustainable. We are not all going to access these white collar jobs. We need also to bring up guys who are technically who are technically fit. Yes, my next agenda is food security and employment. This is what I know most, and this is what I've done. As I've told you, I have an experience. I've worked with many organizations, and most of these organizations, international organizations, are really gearing towards food security, especially the poverty index in Turkana. So when back in 2011, when there was really a very, this is when I started learning about how to do food, how to make sure that the place is food secure. Because in 2011, I worked with UNITA International through AICL Ministries. So in this one here, we were doing blanket food distribution. And what actually we did from this point is to making sure that the place is food secure. I had almost five stations within Lokichogyo. And we had 2,250 households that were accessing food distribution. But this is when we thought of maybe making sure that we make the place food secure by making sure that this arable land is fit for food security. So under food security, I will provide support for vulnerable and special groups. That is the elderly, women, and widows. Second, under the same, creation of self-reliance activities in community to enhance productivity using locally harvested products and services. I have seen this one working because we have other small organizations that are partners to UNHCR promoting the same thing. So as the MCA for the area, given that time when it comes, we will make sure that the partners and the organization we are staying with that have the knowledge of this food security component in it, we should make sure that these guys access the community and make sure that they have something to share with the community technically on food security. In cooperation and years, as well wishers to support various projects in what? In agriculture, poultry farming, fish farming, tree nursery, seedling, and all these kind of things. The next one is employment and job creation for Lopur ward elites and others. You know, let me narrow down to Lopur. Lopur has got many elites. We've got a number of master's holders, degree holders, diploma holders, certificates, and even technical groups. But the problem right now, the 99.9% of Lopur elites are jobless. I want to make it categorically that it is 99.9, meaning almost all of them. Okay. And you can imagine how we are like being together with the refugee community. We are hosting a large number of the refugee community. We thought of maybe this is the first community to benefit from all these jobs that are available, and also from the county government. Under this one, we are going to lobby for available jobs with organization and county government. Now, being one of those who represent them and legislate and represent them in the county assembly, given that time, we will make sure that these jobs are available. It is not like we have jobs to give them, but it is the role of an MCA to knock the doors and to make sure that which jobs are available for these people to take on. And for the NGOs that we are working with, it is just getting a cordial relationship with them, and we make sure that anything that we are able to do as elite and other guys in that place, we will clinch it. The problem is representation. When representation is dying, I want to assure you that these jobs, formation of professional teams in the ward level that will advise the upcoming youth for jobs and career development. When we talk about these jobs, it is not something that you walk and get it in the street. We must have a team that is able to advise and to make sure that these elites that we have, or the upcoming youth, are able to like be advised on the job careers so that they choose this wisely. As I told you, we are going to access these kids, the bursary kids, and all these are done from the national government. So the thing is, when we are sending these kids for specific careers and jobs, you don't need to leave them. You need to bring them back. We have those who have already finished long time ago, so they have that access to like these job careers and be well advised. Promotion of self-employment such as Juakali industry, joining vocational trainings for the life skills. Let me tell you one thing. The ode that is now advantaged is Lopur. Because we have these vocational trainings in this camp. The one for electricity, water skills training, and these others. So as partners, as people who integrate together with the refugees, we will make sure that these guys have access such like opportunities in Turkana West and even outside Turkana West. And even in the cut, they are able to employ themselves. Yes, another agenda is development agenda for Lopur Ward. This is something that is broad, but we will narrow it down to specific things that we have seen and the things that are workable, like rehabilitation and improvement of Lopur roads. Actually, we have one road that is connecting Kakuma, Lopur, and Songot. So, as MCAs of that place, and seated in the same county assembly, we have the duty, like, to gang up ourselves, to lobby, and make sure that this road is well fixed. I know we have Kera that is mandated to do such a like main road. But again, it is the duty of us as the MCAs who will be there by then to lobby and to make sure that these funds are available so that the economy will be improved for these three wards. We have community mass and network. You can imagine the distance between Lopur and Kakuma. You know, when you talk of Lopur, Lopur is the same Kakuma. Two wards are merged. They're almost next to each other. The boundaries, as said yesterday, is only like 4 to 3 kilometers difference. So which means we are together. But when you go to places like Lopur, you will struggle to get a network, even a Safaricom mast. So this is something that is workable. It is only that nobody has accessed those guys so that we have these services available in Lopur. Power connectivity. Like we should be using solar installation to supplement the electricity. You know, Turkana as a whole is advantaged. We have sun. And what will supplement this electricity is if we have that connectivity working together, we will have so many things done in Lopur than being done maybe in the refugee camp, so that we decentralize these things and be available locally in the native area where we are staying, so that we have these guys, the Juakali guys, doing some tangible things in their own place, rather than coming maybe to Kakuma where there's population. So follow-up and completion of stalled county projects, such as dispensaries and several ECDs in Lopur. My friend, this one is not a political thing that maybe I'm coming here to like air it out. It is evident. I come from the place. I reside in Lopur. I know a number of dispensaries that have stalled since 2013, 2017. Now we are going to the third term. And this is one of the agendas that was supposed to cover like universal health care. Nobody, no one in the national government, but it is the duty of the incumbent to make sure that these dispensaries have been completed. When you go to places like Namon, that is the only dispensary that is functional. When you come to Nakoyo had a structure. But thank God, because I was working with the ICL ministries as an health sector, implementing to UNHCR, we were able to access some funds so that we equip that place with drugs. We employ people so that people in Nakoyo can access an health facilities that is functional. talk of Ngejawi, talk of Kangtesro, talk of Lobanga, talk of Ladakach. Even the foundation itself has not been started. You can imagine a project of 2013 up to now. Hiyo inamaanisha kuna watu wanagonjeka hata kwa hiyo ward. So as the elites and the people coming from this place, this is exactly a priority to us, and it is really hectic because the community actually are suffering. Thinking about oils and water harvesting structures for livestock and domestic water. Actually, I want to thank God because in Lopuski, as it is, we have some water from some of our NGOs here around. We thank God because of that. But again, you know, the problem is we need to see what has the county government done to making sure that Lopur is accessing clean water. We are advantaged. The ward of Lopur in 2013 was created, the only ward that was created in Turkana West. And to make it again more successful, we were given a chief officer. Chief officer comes from our own ward. Chief officer for water. That would mean Lopur would be water secure. Every place would have water. But talk of our livestock. They do not have even these water harvesting structures like water pan, water. Apart from one which was done by AHI in Loro, only one. And this was a partner organization. So we have a job. We have a job to making sure that our people have access to clean water. We have a job to make sure that our livestock have access to water. Yes.
Very well, Mheshimiwa.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have a very beautiful blueprint for Lopur Ward. Do you think it is achievable?
Thank you very much. You know, when you talk of to achieve something, yes, it depends with the leadership and the relationship that people have.
Do you think it is achievable?
This is, it is achievable.
Very well. I will start with the incomplete county projects.
Yes.
I am aware that 90% projects of Lopur Ward are done by,
yeah,
including your professionals.
Mm-hmm.
In your own capacity as a professional of Lopur, because professionalism means you can also do an oversight, you can do advocacy, you can be a whistleblower. What have you done at your own capacity to make sure these projects are incomplete? Do you want to wait till when you become an MCA so that you push for the completion or not? Why? Why now? Yet these projects have been there for the last 11, 12 years.
Thank you. Nice question. Very important. I want to start by saying that I told you that I am a performer because of working with the NGOs. You know, in NGOs, you need to produce. You need to make sure that this thing is achievable. My method of development is people first, impact method. That is my method. Engagement of people so that they can become the owners of their own project. They can like oversight on the projects that they are doing. We have one problem existing in Lopur. You know, sometimes some of these things, when our legislators go to the county assembly, they access the information. One problem we have in Lopur with our current MCA, his achievement number one, or his agenda, is to making sure that the elites of the area are not accessing the information. How they do their tendering process, this is something for the county government, as I know. But again, the oversight from the so-called the ground is being completely cut off. One, when you talk of CIDP, the people brought are only people who have not gone to school. And you will not know when is this thing taking place. This is the problem. So they bring people who completely have no clue about the oversight roles, about the representation, so that they can only access like the token. It becomes like a campaign tool. You cannot see any elite being brought to like CIDP forums that discuss these projects. But as for my case, that is why I want actually to push the elite to become like the watchdogs for these projects. When I become the MCA, they oversight for themselves because they know the oversight role. This thing is achievable in that if I become an MCA for Lopur, I will make sure that these funds are available from the county for these projects to get complete. There's somewhere, I know there's somewhere being like stated that it is recurrent, meaning there's a budget somewhere lying.
I don't know if it's true, but that is your opinion.
Yes.
There is an issue that you've decided to aspire this time round because you are dissatisfied, you've not been awarded any contract, and you now want to settle scores. What is your opinion on that?
This is not about being given contracts, because individually the contract has its own process. And as people of Lopur, if you have people who are able to do this thing and they are competitive, they have their own companies that can do this thing, well and good. But for our case, we are not mandated as legislators again to come and do contracts. That is out of context completely. We are not for that. So that the poor people have got access to these important services.
You are a procurement group. I understand you have a background on procurement and logistics.
Yes.
How sure are the people of Lapur that you will offer services that you can see how to maneuver procurement?
You know, this is a different role that I'm now aspiring to do. One good thing, being a procurement officer, I know the process on how somebody can achieve this. As I said, we must have people on the ground who are able to have the information to access this procurement line in case they are there. The procurement is centralized to the county government, but we only need to have the access of the information and how these people can also be available to access this procurement process, but not me doing it as a person.
What do you have in the table now that to the Lopur ward, to the Nasinyono ward, to the Lopuski people, while you worked at MSN, AIC, what is it called?
AIC Health Ministries.
All those organizations have a link in Lapur ward. What do you have in your table that you can say, the women of Nasinyono, I trained you on gender mainstreaming. The people of Lopuski, we had a water project that was supposed to be done. I did this and this. Can you mention some of the projects, indelible marks, under your supervision that you've done to your people of?
Thank you very much. You know, when you mention of things that I've done to Lopur, those things are very remarkable and they're there. People themselves can testify.
Please mention. That is why I'm asking.
Good. I'm coming there. I'm coming there. Yeah. You know, I was not an MCA for Lopur ward. I worked as a project manager for AICL Ministries, and our projects were done in Nasinyono. Yeah.
Yes,
so
is under
Nasinyono in Nanam Songot ward. They share.
I know.
Yes, that is where I supervise most of my projects that I did. Like, for example, making sure that we created 350 acres of land in Nasinyono that was we made sure that 350 acres of land has been cleared and good for agriculture. We were using split irrigation in Nasinyono. Now, when you come to Lopur, to access Nasinyono, you access it through Lopur, Kakuma, Yeah, those places. I have done a lot of things in National. Like for example, in the drought of 2017, ile wa Turkana wanaita ya kwamba Nachit. That was a severe drought that we've ever experienced in Turkana or in the country at large. But what we've been doing, we've been supporting the schools along that corridor with food for 1 year. We've been supporting Lopur and Emulite because they are across the area with water. We've been doing the tankering, but again we saw that one is not sustainable. So we actually narrowed down to schools. We did the elevation of tank halls to this tank so that the school would have water. Yeah, because this was not a project for Lopur. It was meant for Nasiono, but a subsidy, we do it in Nasiono. Yes, I also have some friends in Lopur. As I said, I am connected to some of the researchers from Arizona State University, and these guys are scholars. So we did a sponsorship of like 10 kids in the same area, taking them to secondary schools. And some of these guys now are professionals. Some are studying as nurses, they do petroleum and several courses. Just because we made sure that they have access the education using those partners. That one with the standing. We also supported the dispensary of Lopur. That leave the one in Nakoyo. We supported using these donors, making sure that we have the access to medicine. We supported the nurses, we supported the cleaners so that people are able to access the drugs. You know why I'm saying this? Because the county dispensary got stalled. So we had to take an initiative of making sure that these people have access to medicine. Now, coming to Nakoyo, as I told you, the same project for ACL ministries in Nakoyo, as we talk right now, it is functioning. We are doing the nutrition across that Nakoyo place. So that's the achievement also. Come to Kakuma, that area. We have a clinic called Clinic 5. That one also is being shared by the host community and the refugees. It was under my supervision and under my leadership. Then you go to Kalobeyej. We also have again another hospital there. So we have done a lot of things within the area and like support from ACL ministries.
Very well.
Yes.
You talked of the professionals from Lapuru being 99.9% unemployed.
Yes.
Was that your assertion? Did you say that?
Yes, very well.
You have a chief officer who has served for close to 10 years.
Yes.
You have an MCA.
Yes.
You've been working
yes.
in the NGO. When I say you guys and the professionals are the source of unemployment, will I be lying?
You are not lying. You're correct.
To start it with you,
yes.
How many people have you lobbied so that they get a job at either AIC ministry or other NGOs in NGOs bordering your ward? How many have you lobbied?
Yes. AIC Health Ministries is a section in AIC dealing with health. This is just a small part of it. And I want to tell you that I have tried.
How many?
I am talking of close to 3 professionals and others.
Does that make the 0.1% that is employed?
Because of the number of people who have gone to school in that area. Yes.
So that makes 0.1.
It's too small.
So according to you,
yes.
The chief officer has not done anything, the MCA has done nothing.
Completely nothing.
You can confirm that to us.
Exactly.
Very well. Let's now come to the refugees and the host community. Do you think they are in the same bar?
No.
Who is the most favored? Who is not favored?
Yeah, actually the refugees.
The refugees.
Yes.
What role have you done in your capacity as a professional? 1, 2, as a resident of Nasinyono, 3.
A resident of Lopur.
A resident of
Or
Lopur.
only working in the city.
3 has an activist who wants now to lobby for the people of Lopuru. What are you doing about the imbalance created by the NGO world to the residents of Lopuru ward who are the host to the refugees?
I have mentioned a number of things that we have done, or I have done while in the NGO world, especially to Lopur. I have mentioned a number of 3 facilities that I have lobbied.
I got that.
So that
I was talking in terms of livelihoods.
yes, I'm coming there.
Very well.
I'm coming there. The 3 dispensaries. This is under my supervision. You know, when you talk about the refugees and the host community, we have the law, which was there, and it was improved to 50-50 sharing process. This is what I've been pushing in my own organization, which is working with the UNHCR as a partner organization. This is to say, when you have one facility in Kalobeye, give me one in the host community. When you have another facility in maybe other places within this area of Lopur, you give me another one in Alemchakon. When you talk the livelihood project that I have done most is this Nasinyono, because it is a balance. You provide for the host community, you give us one. Yeah, one other project. Because GIZ offered me one of the livelihood projects. As they do this to the Kalobeye community and also to Lobby, so that they can give me one, yeah, for agriculture, and that one is viable as we speak right now. So there is that when you have one here, you also give us one. That's a 50-50 criteria. Yeah.
Very well. Then I come to the issue of education. What do you intend to improve on education, especially the illiteracy rate in your ward? I understand that the highest percentage of your voters have not gone to school. What do you think you can do so that you can encourage people to go to school and be literate? What is your plan as a profession? Do you plan to make sure that they continue suffering in terms of education, or you want to upgrade them? What is your opinion on that?
Actually, we have structures that will make sure that these people are pushed, they can access education facility. For example, we have the chiefs, we have the village administrators from our own ward, people whom we know, our own kids from the same area, our own residents. So we will start from these local structures to making sure that have access to schools that are near them, starting from ECDs, primary, and then up. When you as I said, you know, this is a process and it's a progress. When you have somebody in ECD, you need to progress him and go to primary. Then from primary, you make sure that they have gone to secondary. Unlike what is happening in Lopur right now, most of our kids are not going to school because they do not have access to these bursary funds. They don't have access to these CDF funds. So definitely what we will do is to making sure that the committee that deals with this distribution of money for those who would want to go to secondary are accessible, because sometimes they completely furnish themselves and go give to their own people. So what we will do is we will make sure that the data is available in every sub-location, so that we forward it to the people concerned with these education kitties, and making sure that having this kitty, we accelerate them. As I said, we have our guys who have already gone to school, who are the elites. You know, we must form also a team from the ward level that is managing these guys even going to school. Have they gotten the bursary kit? Have they gone to come back? Do they have even a library? This is something that is a challenge also. So we will make sure that these people have access to education, and we put the structures, the infrastructure that will support their education. Yes.
Very well. You said you're in which party?
United Democratic Alliance, that is UDA.
UDA.
Yes.
The bottom-up approach.
Yes.
You are competing with an incumbent.
Yes.
Who is in ODM.
Yeah.
You are from the NGO world.
Yes.
This guy has been in there. He has what it takes. How prepared are you? Because I know he has enough muscles. He has been there for 10 years,
yeah.
And you are just a starter.
Yes.
Do you think you can wrestle and muscle him financially, mobilization, and making sure that you can clinch the seat?
I have one advantage that it takes to making sure that this seat is coming to UDA, MCA, or Pro aspirant. You know, I am not from the moon. I stay in the world. I stay with people. I am with these guys around. So it all depends with the structures that you put in place to making sure that people are educated. You know, people of Lopur have eyes. They have all it takes to making sure that how can we differentiate between this guy who has been in power and he was not able to do 1, 2, 3, and the guy who has been in NGO, the area you are able like to quantify what you have done. So the Lopur resident will decide for this. Very well, I know they have eyes, they have the knowledge. It is not about going to school, it's what is going to inform you of what you're going to do. It's about your own wisdom, what you see, how people are informed. So when you come to finance, we are, you know, it's not about buying photos. It's about telling them what you would want to do. It's about making sure that they believe in you. I have told you I have one advantage. My approach always has been people first. So I've been with these people, and these people know what I'm going to do to them. So it is them to give us the rating. We very well know he has money, yes. I don't know if he has, if he doesn't have, that one is not our concern. Our concern is to making sure that our people have the civic education on what we are going to do to them, especially this time round when we've been shortchanged for these 2 terms.
Very well. Before we go to this team so that they can ask you questions,
yeah,
I wanted to confirm. Why are you the only one here? Where are the rest? Can you make a comment on that? Where are they? Is the fear of unknown? Maybe you can make a comment on that. How many aspirants are you? Why are the rest not here? Why are you the only one who has been here the whole of yesterday and you decided to be here today? Proceed.
We are the 3 aspirants. In Lopur ward, we have the 3 aspirants. Me from UDA. The incumbent is from ODM. We have another one from sijui what party, hizi party ndogo ndogo hii. Sijui inaitwa mabadiliko. So I tend to believe that the communication was meant to every one of us, the 3 of us, because this thing was centralized through Akido, the organization, professional organization in Turkana West. Information that we are supposed to come here for this debate. And I am sure that everyone who is for people, who has an opportunity, who can have an opportunity such like this for the first time, come and tell people what he wants to do to them, will have time to come and explain himself and tell the voters that he is available for this and that. I am very sure these people got the information. But it could be one thing. One, they must be scared. Yeah, because they know hii kitu ishaenda. Unajua kama unajua ya kwamba hujafanyia watu mambo mazuri, na hapa ni mambo ya kuulizwa, umefanya nini, umetenda nini, unataka kufanya nini, na hakuna kitu umefanya. You know, the best approach, you hide. You go into hiding, because unaweza pata aibu hapa bure. So this could be the reason as to why this guy is not around. And especially him the incumbent. Wacha ule kijana mwingine. Huyu anaweza kuja, anaweza kataa kuja, labda anaogopa, anaweza ulizwa maswali na Kiturkana na Kiingereza na mambo mengine. It could be the reason. But for the incumbent, I know very well himself anajua kwamba hakuna kitu ametufanyia. Yeah, that could be one fears ambaye yako naye. Because one thing, if you know that you have done good and you have the courage to come and face your constituent, then come. Mimi ningependa tu niambie the resident of Lopur kwamba ukiona huyu mwenzetu hayuko mahali hapa nini, na hii kitu anafaa hata kusema ya kwamba imetosha, patieni Gilbert yeye akae, tuone pia hata hii mambo itakuwa namna gani, because this is the only place, and in fact it is an history in Turkana West that we've gotten this thing. That is why I'm like, I should come and make sure that I'm available. Mimi sijui kama angekuja ama hapana, kwa sababu you can imagine yesterday I started waiting mpaka saa 7 ya usiku, and I still have the courage again to come today, so that have been done or that which I anticipate to do. So I am very sure that kuna kitu hapo huyu mwenzangu ameogopa kukuja kusema.
Very well.
Yes.
Can note down these questions. Question 1. What is the plan of our aspirant on the side of livestock, since we do experience a lot of drought?
Thank you.
Question 2. I want you to note them down. What is your plan on the issue of drought? Then the other question is, it is absurd more leaders undertake, and if they are complete or not, we shall experience a lot of. The question is, why did you have to wait up to now so that we will slow and talk about incomplete projects? The other question is there any project that you feel that the city MCA would have done better? And as a resident of Lopur, what did he write or lobby for the same? Those are 3 questions.
Yes.
I hope you got the 3 questions.
The first one was for livestock and drought.
What is your plan?
Yes, actually, livelihood is a priority in Turkana. And when we talk of livelihood, right now we are also putting together the agro pasture. Turkana people are dealing with livestock. I have something here to tell you about this livestock issue. You know, the livestock are in need of grass and water. And this something comes as a disaster sometimes. It is uncontrollable. But because of us going to school and having this experience in most of this field, I forgot to tell you guys, in Nasinyono, we are clearing land. And this land, part of it, we want to plant grass. And very well you know in Turkana has got natural grass. You don't need even to buy those grass and plant them. So the thing is, the plan that I can do to some of these places that have got philosophies is to clear them, plant grass, and during dry spell, for these small shots, we can harvest the same grass, bale them, and we give them back to the same livestock, like especially for the small shots when they are around. I have told you that we have no water pan in our place. We only have one in that all coverage in the pool. This would mean, you know, animals sometimes travel for a distance in search for water, and this one will make them like grown thin, emaciated because of walking a distance. We will make sure that we have several water pans in our ward, so that these animals should avoid going long distance looking for grass. This is one component that we are going to do. But again, we should know that we are pastoralists. When there is no grass, these same households move looking for pastures. And when they are going to get pastures, it is the role of an MCA to like follow them, to making sure that are they safe in the places that they are going. Yeah, to making sure that are they accessing some little food, especially the others. Lopur is kind of a settled community. Not all people move with animals. It's a few of them. So when they are away, when they go to other places in search of grass, it is the role of MCA sometimes to making sure that are they safe? Do they have some food? Do they have water in the place that they have gone? So I think this is what actually I anticipate to do in terms of livestock. But again, the county government has a plan. It has a department that deals with the drugs. It is the duty of an MCA to making sure that these animals have access to drugs. They access drugs. Yeah, you go talk to partner organization. If there are those who have livestock component in it, you talk to them, you make sure that they have come also to access the area. This is part of this thing. In the issue of the oversight role, I told you it is very technical. These people can lobby for anything so that they can make sure that they have this thing. The thing is, Lopur people are deprived of the elites to access the information. As I told you, like for CID people, they only take people who are not elites to go just there look for handouts. So this is the limitations. This is the gap that is in between us and our incumbent. He doesn't want to make sure that we are accessing this information. Even if we have it, even if we report it, actually the structures work down everything that we want to accelerate. The project for MCA. I thought that one of the things that this MCA will make sure that he has done is making sure that education is accessible. Even for us having these structures from the county government and structures from the national government through our able MP, that is Honorable Daniel Epio. You know, our hood has got some structures for primary schools. We also have secondary school. We also have university in this order that is now upcoming. But the problem is, you will find most of our students are going to the refugee schools. As if we don't have these kids to facilitate them go to the Kenyan schools. And you know the programs in the refugee schools are not like those ones in the Kenyan schools. So I thought this is the thing is going to like impress us most and make sure that it is a project that is not debatable, even when we are here, because he's an elite like the rest of us. So this is the project that he has failed to fix in his 2 terms. So that is the project actually that I'm seeing like this failing. Yes.
Do you have any project that you think it was not done satisfactorily? And how do you intend to acknowledge the rights or lobby for the same?
From our oath. I have actually repeated it here.
Or you've indicated?
Yes, I have repeated it here.
Thank you very much. We can now give the people at the plenary to comment on the same so that we summarize the discussion. Anyone who has a concern or a comment or question, please step forward. Remove that computer. Let's start from you. What is your comment? What is your concern?
Good morning. Mimi naitwa Lokichar Philip, ni mkazi wa Lopur Road. I don't have any concern but a question to the aspirant. So I think this question has really been, this issue has been really been burning in Lopur community. So mine is to ask the aspirant that if today is 9th of August, you have been elected to be the MCA for Lopur Road, and we have the current problem where the refugee camp is facing some rate of expansion because there is no space inside the camp. And the UNHCR and the DRA have approached you so that you give them part of the land. My question is, how would you approach that?
Yes, thank you very much. The issue, an issue, especially in Turkana West, given that right now the growing rate of population is really high. And when we talk of us hosting the refugees, I tend to believe that we have already given enough land as the host community to the refugee. And even the portion remaining right now is just a pathway created so that the animals, because we are pastoralists, can access. And again, given this is a communal land. You know, it has to pass some process so that we discuss as a community, as a county. We have many stakeholders in this issue. Yeah? But again, you know, I am also consulted like any other person, like any other community member, so that we can have an agreement with these people in the same place. It is not my sole responsibility to give out this land. No, it must have a process.
I had 7 questions for you, but in your explanation, you have answered so many of them. The second question for you is that if all goes well, you have been elected as an MCA for Lopur Road, and it has happened that we want to clear the land covered by Post Office Judifora in that land so that we get some arable land. Are you in the capacity, or which means, or are you in the capacity to get the land cleared for, to be the marginalized land to be turned into arable land? Do you have the capacity?
Yes, well, thank you very much. Actually, I think I had stated this one before when I was talking of having experience with the Nasinyono project. In Turkana West, the hub of Post Office in Turkana West is in Lotikipi. And I was the only first person who accessed that land so that I am able to like create the land for farming. And in this one, my brother, I will do the replica to the same place, to Lopur, because I have experience for this thing. Take for example, when we went there, I told you, it is like you must bring people on board so that they should know what are we supposed to do, what is the advantage of the things existing here. I mentioned this one, Ali, that we've created 350 acres of land in Nasinyono, and we planted a lot of crops, yeah, under my watch, under my supervision. I don't want to forget that we've been using the same Post Office for charcoal burning in Nasinyono, where we sold close to 500 bags of charcoal to an organization called Locado, and we were able to get 900,000. This is probable. And this is something that you can, we have the statistics of it. And then we were able to plant watermelons. And in fact, there's also a clip going around right now in this season. As it is dry like this, already we've created that land and we've turned it to something very viable, practical. In 2016, 1.2 million shillings. So this same thing can be replicated to the Lopur Road. We have water. We are utilizing water from this river. We are just having water that is just getting and going without utilized. So we will use split irrigation, and if possible, we will even improve it, because when you go to Lopur Road, we have a very nice area that we can do farming. In the area of Lodakach and Nakodongole, we have a land there. We can do the clearing. It's around like Nabruk. The whole of Nabruk is farming. And I'm not new to this thing. While I was young, my parents were farmers. We were able to plant sorghum so that we used to exchange it with goats. So it is something that is practical. The thing is, we need to clear the place. We need to arrest the madenge. I'm not saying we are going to take it like to move it, but we are going to manage it. Yes.
One last one, sorry. One last one, an important one.
Good morning to the members too. I'm Jackson Lojore. I have a question for Mheshimiwa. Mheshimiwa, we have assets in Lopur Road, that's Nakoyo village. We have seen what happened. what is I wish to understand more. What are the top 3 or the top 2 priority manifestos or the agendas that you, as a person, if given a chance, come August 9th, you are going to execute, to initiate and execute them?
Thank you very much. You can step in. Proceed with your question.
And online viewers, also to appreciate the Chocha TV. Mine is not a question as per said, but I need to make a comment. I want to inform the residents of Lopur that today we want to tell you that Honorable Gilbert has presented himself here to show us that is ready to take us ahead, because we need to make a change. And the absence of the current MCA shows us that it results that is not ready to lead us. And for that case, we want to inform all the youth, all the mamas in the village, all the elders, that we need to push for this agenda so that we made a change. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Stefan.
Yeah.
Honorable Gilbert,
Yes.
do you have any issue you want to respond? Because we have clarified the issue of your 3 key agendas. I don't think you can respond to that. You've covered it well.
Yeah.
Tell the people of Lapur Ward who they will vote from the president up to your level. What do you think they should vote for who?
Thank you very much. People of Lopur Ward, I am so grateful that today I presented myself here, and it is part of the thing that you need to take it into consideration, that actually representation means everything. It doesn't mean only to run around, give the handouts so that we can get this vote through buying. I have come here so that you may hear what I want to do to you people. Now, coming to who to vote. First, I am already here. Nikiwa mtoto wenu wa hiyo area. Na mnajua very well, hii kiti tunatafuta. Na tunatafuta ni kwa sababu yenu. Tunatafuta yangu na kwa sababu yetu na kwa sababu ya Turkana West. Mimi naomba hivi, come 9th hii August tunakuja, tukianza na mimi, vote me in as your MCA, kwa sababu kuna mambo mingi ambaye sitaeleza, nimewaelezea, mnajua, sitaeleza sahihi kwa hii nini. Mimi nataka munipatie nafasi ya MCA kwa tikiti ya UDA. You've heard about bottom-up explanation. This one everybody knows. And the reason why I support the UDA team, it is because of the agendas. And the agendas is a replica to exactly what Lopuru would want to see, practically. Kwangu munipatie mimi. Then we have a member of parliament, our honorable Epuyo Daniel. Mimi sijui tutasema nini kumhusu, because his track records have really outweighed everybody. Kila mtu anajua anafanya nini. And he's one person who has a representation skills. Hakuna kitu atakosa kufanya. Kama ni kuongea atatu represent. Kama ni hapa chini, kuna vitu ambaye ni tangible, especially hakuna ward haina shule, hakuna ward saa hii haina secondary school, na kama mko kwa mpaka hakuna ward hajaweka ile inaitwa security officers ile ya chief and all those. So his track records inaongelea mambo yake mengi. Let's come to the governor. Governor ni mmoja. Wacheni niwaambie. Governor ni mmoja. Missionary. Huyu missionary mnajua kazi ambayo anafanya. He has planted churches. He has planted schools. He has development records all over Turkana County. And he has skills to listen to you. Hata kama ni mtu wa chini. he is a missionary. Mambo yenye tunaongelea hapa si mambo ya kusema ya kwamba ati alikuwa nani akafanya nini. These are the things you people know. Hatuwezi kimbia tu kwa sababu we need leadership ama tunataka power. Power is different from stewardship. So missionary is a stewardship. He can practice stewardship. So patieni honorable Nakala. Human rep yetu ni Cecilia Ngitit Asinyen. Huyo mnamjua. You ladies, she is a business lady. And all you need women is to be empowered. So she has a skill to empower women. Kwa sababu amesimama kwa sababu ya wanawake. Mkumbuke nyinyi wanawake yeye na sisi wazee we are going to back you up. When we go to the senator, our senator has always been talking about the security issues along the border. And those are the things that are hurting us most. It cuts across the whole world, east, south, wherever. So Bendix Lokamar has his very proponent agenda, which is security. So Lokamar ndio sisi tunavotia UDA ticket, sisi wote tukiwa mahali tuko. Supporters ya UDA hata na wale wengine. Now you come to the president. President hii mnamjua. Ni asla ambaye amefanya kazi, akona experience ya kutengeneza kuku iwe billions. Akona experience ya kutoa mtu kutoka chini mpaka juu. Ana hadithi. This is not about the making stories. It's about the practical things that UDA team has in place. And all these people have structures. Structures that are not competing, structures that are stable. So when you come to this team, hii ni timu moja ambayo imejipanga, na mimi sitaki nyinyi kama watu wa Lopuri mpoteze hiyo opportunity. In this government, tukiwa pale pamoja na hawa watu sita, then that is the place you will know that I will have no other excuse when it comes to implementation. Mukinipatia kwa hiyo line. Otherwise, I thank God for aligning me with this strong team. Na nyinyi mkiwa pale, sisi tunapeta hii kitu.
Thank you mheshimiwa. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Tunakutakia kila laheri.
Yes.
Uko na maombi yetu.
Asante.
Nafikiri watu wa Lopuru wote wameona, wewe umejitokeza, umewaelezea ulio nayo. Shukran sana. This show is courtesy of is courtesy of Chocha TV. My name is Dr. Logiron. I come here from Sikika Foundation doing mentorship and outreach programs. Thank you very much. Welcome to Chocha TV.